How are we feeling today? Thank you for being here to share space and time. This is a timeless message and it is for a collective, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you are forcing the story to fit, my love, it's not for you. So just take what is. Okay, so I have been feeling such an array of energy as I sat here in preparation to read for the collective. So much healing, so much back to one of my previous messages of like that itchy wound. That's really what it feels like. It's almost like this irritation through this integration, because it feels like we're at the surface and it feels like we're right there. Like, as I'm saying it, my arm is itching, but it's like a wound healing. Maybe your trauma wounds are healing at such a deep rooted level because of the work you've been doing, and so the healing is that much more intense, right? The more trauma, the more pain, the more intense that healing process is going to be for anything that's healing. Let's just be for real. And so when our souls are healing and when we're unpacking these layers of trauma and these layers of perspective that were never really ours, as we're finding our own perspectives, as we're learning what we do believe in, what we do want to hold space for, who we truly are at our freaking core, as we're moving through all of that healing, we're now at this phase of trying to figure out. I feel you like trying to emerge in a new way. Like, you are showing up in spaces different, but you're figuring out who you are at your core in these energies, in these spaces. Back to the mirroring energy of, you're observing yourself and other people and learning parts of you through that, even if momentary. And yeah, we're just at that like precipice of that wound healing. Like, that deep rooted itch, babe, is you ready to emerge. It's this creation that you've been creating behind the scenes, and that you can feel that there's so much work being done behind the scenes that you're not even aware of. You can feel yourself right at the precipice of something, and that's why it's like itchy. It's like, oh, come on, like, I just want this to be over because I'm ready to be there. I'm ready to see this creation bloom in its full healed essence. Yourself, my love, you are the creation that you are creating. You are what is blooming, and it is such a beautiful energy. It is such a beautiful energy, as annoying as it can feel. As annoying as it can feel, it's still beautiful. And there's this need to hold space for yourself within that, to be nice to yourself, to be kind to yourself, right? We are approaching the Aries full moon on Friday, so there's just this big energy around newness because it is the first full moon of the year. And so it feels like the final shed, because it is, babe. The alignment in energy of feeling where you're at on your own path is so divinely guided. And I just want to remind you that you're right on time. You're capable of doing anything that you put your mind to, because you understand how powerful your mind is. There's this like knowing that you've come to within yourself, of trusting yourself so fully and wholly that you do know, you do understand that you're right at the precipice of this. You do understand that you are divinely being led and guided. And as annoying as these nuisances are, as they're coming up, you understand that it's right on time. there's this call to like just be mindful, almost like Mercury retrograde energy of be mindful and double check your things. Just for an example, as I was prepping to sit down for this, one of my decks that I normally read with, it felt like it was missing a card, and so I took the time, I counted them out, I separated them by suits, and I found that I was missing the Page of Cups, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And so I just had to let it go. I had to pick up another deck, and I reconnected with a very old deck that it holds so much meaning and power to me, and there was this sense of like it needed to go. I needed to let it go for a little bit, and so I did. I even tried giving it away, and it literally didn't want to be given away. It was just this need for it to rest. And so there's this huge message in rest right now, especially around this new moon energy of resting. Let's see what cards flew out. Today is my Nana's birthday, would have been, and I connected with her energy earlier, and it was really sacred and beautiful, and I had a nice big release and purge, and so I love that she's showing up here for us in this Grandmother of Jesus card. But what first came out, actually the card that came out before the Grandmother card, is Awakening. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. We can't make it up, my love. We just talked about integration. We just talked about that. We just talked about it. And this Grandmother card says, Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plans. Exactly. And it just is such an alignment with the energy that you're in right now, is the energy of you awakening to you, who you are, what your path is, and you're laying the foundation of who you are, of figuring out what lights your soul up. You're on this path of, through this awakening process, you're on this path of your soul awakening to you and your true essence, and you're observing and acknowledging the things that do need to go, and you're seeding the light into what is making your light expand, making you bloom. You're laying the foundations to you. You're laying the foundations to understanding, knowing, loving yourself. And in that is what is lighting up your path, because it no longer allows you to resonate in spaces that don't align, right? It no longer allows you to show up in ways that aren't authentic. And so naturally, things, people, and places will just have to go, and things, people, and places will come in. And there is still this energy of reuniting and reconnecting with old energies. They were healing too, and they were needing to come to this space. And now there's this reconnection, just like my deck. Now there's this reconnection. And it is because you're able to show up differently. You are showing up authentically. You are being more yourself. And so in that, so is this other person or other people, right? You may be coming into reunion with a lot of people from your past, but you're reconnecting at such a deeper level because you've both met yourselves at deeper levels, and you had to go away to allow each other to rest, yourselves to rest, so that you could reunite in this stronger bond. Those are the foundations. You are laying the foundations by connecting with other people. You are your foundation, and then you're going to be meeting these other foundations, and it's going to be solid. You're going to be walking this super solid foundation because you have you, and they have you, and you have you, and they have you, and it's like everyone's got each other because everyone's got themselves, right? But everyone's showing up in that full capacity of awakened state, of understanding reciprocity, of understanding and loving self, of being able to meet each other in their deepest, darkest places, and it feeling comfortable within the uncomfortable, because you've also met yourself there, right? You've met yourself in these dark, deep rooted places that would be perceived as ugly, or would be perceived as, something negative. But you understand how beautiful those parts of you are, because those parts of you helped you be who you are right now. Those parts of you are your foundation, and you understand that. You've integrated your higher self into your shadow self. You understand that the light and the dark are equally as powerful and important, and that there is no real bad or good. That is the human concept, is to need to label it, when energy is energy and no energy can be bad. Right? The human can make the energy bad, but the energy itself is not bad, because that's not how energy works. And so you've come into a place of understanding that within yourself, my love. You understand that at such a deep-rooted core level within yourself. So you are showing up in these places, in this awakened state, of this integrated state. And what flew out was the Lumeria card, and it's creating heaven on earth. It's happening. I am pretty certain, 100% certain, that my last message uploaded on Monday was it's happening. And I keep getting that message. I actually channeled my own message before showing up to read for you guys. I like to connect to myself, to pour into myself before I pour out into the collective. But literally the first channeled message, the first sentence that came out in this channeled message, the change has already happened. The change has already happened. And it is very much in alignment with that previous message, in addition to the fact that you showing up the way you're showing up, it's happening. Like, spirit, source, your ancestors, your guides, they want you to know that it's happening, and to allow yourself to rest through it. You're already in this awakened state, babe. You're already in this awakened state. You're already laying the foundations. You feel it. You know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about these connections, these reunions, and meeting yourself deeply. I'm just confirming for you. I'm just here to validate that what you're feeling is true for you. I'm validating these things you already know. Right? That's what's so beautiful about tapping into these messages, is that it is tapping into what is already within us and what we already know. And so you already know it's happening. You just needed that confirmation, and I'm so honored that I get to validate you in that, and I get to uplift you and affirm you, because look, this world does not want to affirm anybody or anything, and I'm here to affirm that you are in alignment, my love. Even if it doesn't always feel that way, even if it is not perceived that way right now. Ten of Swords, the end of a cycle. What I channeled earlier too was, this is so freaking beautiful, where the beginning starts at the same place of the end. In the cycle, in the circle, the beginning is the same place as the end. The end is the same place as the beginning. The starting point of the end is the same place as the starting point of the beginning. Okay? I don't know why I had to say that many different times, but I did. And likely because Spirit literally was giving it to me like loudly earlier, because us humans want to be in the feeling of control. And yes, we have free will, but at the end of the day, we don't have control. I did not have control of the fact that we're reconnecting with this old deck today. It's divinely guided. It was meant to happen. And it feels really good to have this deck in my hands. Like, I don't know, I just feel like giddy. This deck taught me tarot. So I'm excited. It feels so powerful. I feel like I'm blushing at how this deck makes me feel. We're talking about the Aries new moon coming up and it being the beginning of a cycle. It's the first full moon of the astro year. And it's the energy of the fire horse. Like, it's beginning. Everyone wants to think of time as so linear, and we have to come back to understanding that the stars are what really guide us. The energy is what really guides us, right? And so this is the first full moon of the new year, of the new astro year. And the fact that the fire horse came out, or the Knight of Wands came out, is so representation of the fire horse for me. And the fact that it's the Emperor. There is this rushing of energy towards you. And it's like this excitement. But there's also this need to stay very grounded. Holding boundaries within that. You may be getting a lot of different offers within this energy. How you're showing up, you're so magnetized in your energy that you're going to be attracting a lot of things. You have a lot of eyes on you. A lot of people are watching you, maybe talking about like what you're doing or how you're showing up differently. They're acknowledging that you are showing up differently, and they may be chattering about it, and that's fine. Let them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you. You're still you, and you're in this grounded state of knowing that. So within that grounded state, within the process that you're in now, in feeding your soul and learning you, through this phase, you are stepping into the Emperor energy of understanding and knowing what is for you and what isn't. You are going to be so discerning and so firm on your boundaries. And so just affirm that. Affirm that I am firm on my boundaries, right? You are the foundation for what is coming in. So use your discernment in what does come in for you. This just feels so good. You're going to have a lot of options. That is bringing tangible abundance. Tangible. It really feels like that's it. Like, Spirit's like, and what more do you want? You're in alignment. If you are here rocking with me and you made it through this message, you're in alignment. Like, it just feels like the message was delivered. You're in alignment and you're on path. You are on this path in the Page of freaking Cups. This is the card that was missing out of my other deck. And this is the card of new creative ideas, new creative opportunities. So this abundance is flowing to you in how you're creating. And it doesn't have to just be like creating art. It's how you're creating you, my love. It's how you're creating the foundation for your life. This is bringing emotional fulfillment and baby, emotional money. Like, this is just such abundant, blooming energy, and it just is on point. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. You're recluse right now, unpacking all of this and trying to figure out how you're showing up in these spaces, and that's okay. It's good to be intentional. There is this need to start emerging. The sun is out, the birds are chirping. Go outside, babe. Even if you're needing to go outside and be alone, like you need to go on a walk, go sit in the park, whatever that looks like for you. There is this need to allow the sun to nurture the seeds, to nurture your bloom, right? Just nurture it. Nurture you. Listen to your body. Listen to what feels good. Be able to say yes when it feels good and say no when it doesn't. You don't need to explain why you're saying no. No is a complete sentence. I can't make it. Nope. That doesn't feel good for me. Those are all things you could say. Right? You don't need to overanalyze and overexplain. Let them feel how they need to feel. What matters is you, and you understand that. You are in such a deep integration process. Don't allow anybody else's perceptions to hinder your growth, and you understand that. So there's just need to come out of hermit. Be outside, especially with the the new moon on Friday. Allow yourself to feel the warmth of the sun. Allow yourself to be seen, because you can only be seen if you allow yourself to be seen. So allow yourself to be out, to be seen. You're gonna just start getting offers of abundance. Just notice the little things. Note everything. And give gratitude for that, right? Give gratitude for all of those signs of abundance that do find you. I will be uploading a new moon message on Friday, so check back for that. Thank you for hanging out and rocking with me. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you have a deliciously blooming day, you magical essence. Bye.